Welcome to Tuesday Testimony with Queen Mo. I am your host, Queen Mo. I am a YouTube content creator, also full-time mom. Thank you for listening to the podcast. This podcast is going to be all about listening to everyday women overcoming life obstacles, keeping their faith in God, and coming out victorious. We are overcomers by the words of our testimony. So for me, faith without work is dead, and this is my work for the kingdom. So let's get into this episode. Welcome to season 2 in year 2024. I'm so excited.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Tuesday Testimony with Queen Mo. I am your host, Queen Mo. I am here joined by the lovely, the powerful, my lovely cousin who I love oh so much, my accountability partner, but she is not just my cousin, girl. She does not play like that. She is the founder and CEO of the Curvy Fit Chick. She is Trynette Lariba, the Curvy Fit RN, also a full-time nurse. If you don't know, she's also going to be an accountability coach. She is adding that to Curvy Fit Chick. And sometime in 2024, soon, she's going to be adding retreat to her resume again. So she has already done that. Back, fresh and better than ever. So if you guys didn't know, she blessed us with season 1. That is my highest rated episode, my first episode. She's been so great with supporting me and helping me through this process of Tuesday Testimony. I'm so happy to have her here. She has been just such a powerful woman of God and such a great help to me and inspiration and mentor with setting my boundaries in business and personal life and everything. So I had to have her on here to share these with you guys. And Trynette, thank you so much for coming on the show again. Welcome.
Thank you for having me again. I'm so excited to be here, share with all the ladies.
I'm just going to give you guys, and we're so excited to have you. I'm so elated. So I'm just going to give you guys a little warning. And most of my guests, I don't give no warning. But a hot topic on social media is like trigger warning. So I'm giving y'all a little, I'm going to say trigger warning with my baby Trynette, but just be ready. She does not play. She's going to drop these jewels. She's going to be in and out. They're going to hit you right in your gut. They're going to hit you in your soul. They're going to hit you in your heart. So get you a pencil and paper. Press record. Whatever it is that you do to take your notes, take them down. She is going to drop them. You are going to want to remember them. You are going to want to apply them to your life, especially now when we're talking about soul care. You're going to need it. If not, go ahead and re-listen to this episode again or watch this video again. Next, let's get into this thing, girl. Do you think setting boundaries are an important form of soul care?
It is important and absolutely necessary. There's no way that you can properly care for your soul if you do not have boundaries. Because if you don't have boundaries, that means you're not respecting your time, you're not protecting your peace, and you're not giving yourself the opportunity and the space to actually nurture what your soul needs. So, yes,
Amen.
Boundaries are certainly a part of soul care. And if we are emulating the Father, then that we most definitely would be instituting boundaries so that we can do what He has asked us to do while we're here on this earth.
My God, today. I know that's right. So, what major event you think led to you in your life setting boundaries?
That's a good question. So the first major event that led to me setting boundaries would be when my father first left us. And that was, that was back in, I won't give the dates, but I was a young child. That was the first major events that led me to creating boundaries. And I remember clearly creating boundaries around that because I was extremely hurt. I felt neglected and abandoned. when he did leave the family. And so one of the first things that I said that I was going to do was not allow myself to be in a situation where I needed to be completely dependent on a man. So imagine a young girl already setting that type of boundary. So that was the first major event. So I had a car accident September 1st, 2016. That was the next time when I had to set boundaries in my life. And I set a multitude of boundaries at that time because I needed to protect my peace. I needed to heal. And I needed to be sure that not only was I being an asset to myself, but also to my child who also was healing from the accident. And so I set up boundaries that allowed me to be able to do those things, which I needed to do to ensure that I was in an environment that was safe, where I felt protected, where I could do all of the growing and development that was necessary. So that means I had to cut some people out.
Woo. Wow. So that first one, when you said that when your dad left home and left the family, that's incredible to me that you were that self-aware, that young to say, "I'm gonna guard my heart." And then with the car accident, and we spoke about it before, what just hit me today was saying you had to set boundaries for yourself, but also for your daughter. And I
Mhm.
remember your daughter, the accident, you told me about it, but then that's like a whole nother level of that, especially as a parent, because you can set boundaries for yourself. And then when you set boundaries for your child too, you're trying to heal and grow, but you're being mama bear as well.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
correct.
Okay.
I want to go back
So
to what
why
you
did
were
you?
saying. I'm sorry.
Oh, sure. Let's go back.
To what you were saying about being self-aware at such a young age.
Hmm.
I always was extremely self-aware and observant to what was going on. And it's interesting because a lot of times when as an adult and we're trying to figure out what it is that we're supposed to do and what's our calling and what's our purpose. And if we
Right.
sit down and think about what it is that we have been through and how we have dealt with those things, we'll be able to clearly see who we are and what we were supposed to do in the first place. So I was always, everything set me up for who I am and what my purpose is. And I know we're talking about boundaries, right? But
Mhm.
that's an important piece when you are thinking about boundaries and creating them.
I agree. Because how are
Okay,
you
go ahead.
gonna get to that purpose if you lollygag, if you're not disciplined, if you saying yes to everybody, if you still have not conquered being a people pleaser? A lot. Can't get to your stuff. Preach.
Just yeah. You won't
It's
be able to
hard.
get to it.
No, you'll see it. God will show you the vision. Nobody knows how we're supposed to get there. He'll show us our purpose, give us a little light at each step that we take. But you can't take those steps. That phone is not set on do not disturb when you actually having prayer time, actually planning out content, you actually working on that business or writing that book that or setting up a plan.
You better say it. You better say it because and you know what? It's disrespectful. It's
It is.
disrespectful when you are
It is
not
coming from us.
honoring when you're not honoring your time, when you are not setting clear boundaries on that allow you to do his work, to do your soul work, to fulfill your calling, you are sabotaging people. So not only are you
Mm.
self-sabotaging, but you
Woo.
are also sabotaging the lives of those people who are waiting for you to show up to get your healing, to transform, and to walk in your calling.
Oh my God.
Because their transformation is dependent upon you doing what you're supposed to do. But how can you
Right.
do that if you caught up in the nonsense of taking care of other people's business and not minding your own? When you caught up in saying yes to other people, but you haven't said yes to being disciplined to yourself, you haven't said yes to making sure that you are respecting your time, you haven't said yes to showing love to yourself, and yet looking for somebody else to provide the love that you don't even have for yourself. Okay? Boundary.
Not the self-love is gone.
Gone.
My God.
Because you
Ooh,
can't
that is
say that you love yourself, you respect yourself when you lack boundaries.
no. Please stop. Please stop. You done opened up a whole nother episode. Why every time you come on here, you gotta open up another can of worms? Now you came back. You came back down with this foolery. If you back up here again, now you want to talk about self-love in the middle of self-care series, ma'am.
You right. You right.
You just come on up here and get a seat and host this show, ma'am. I'm tired. I'm not finna keep playing with you. Last episode was living in my purpose. That was all you was supposed to come up here and talk about. Living in
Oh.
your purpose. Then we got up in here on boundaries. Now you come up here on boundaries, and now you want to get in self-love. Just, baby, go on and you'll be here next week.
Yes, ma'am.
This
Yes,
gonna
ma'am.
be a pre-recorded show, ma'am. I can't. I'm not gonna do it anymore. I quit. I am done with the show. Next caller. Every time for you. But you see what I'm talking about when you dealing with that. But that is so true.
Yes.
All of it. All of it. Self-love, boundaries, get to your purpose. Oh, man. Why do you think a person would find it difficult? And you already opened it up, but I'm going to let you go ahead and the doors of the church is open, baby. The red lights is on. Come on in. Why do you think a person will find it difficult to set boundaries for themselves?
Who?
It's not like us that would find it difficult.
So as per our last response, it is because this person does not only do they not love themselves, but they don't know who they are. So it's very difficult for you to set and create boundaries when you don't know who you are. You don't know what your beliefs, your values are. When you are not in alignment yourself, then it would be very difficult for you to create boundaries. See, in order to create the boundaries, you have to have a love of self, a knowledge of self. You have to
Right.
know and understand who your creator is and how he has, what's the word I'm looking for? But essentially how he has designed for you
How
to
he
live.
put how I how he has identified you.
Yes. You have to know those things first in order for you to even create and set the boundaries. So if you don't know that, you can't set the boundaries. If you don't know what your beliefs and values are, you cannot set the boundary. If you don't know how loving yourself, what that looks like, what that feels like, then how are you going to protect yourself? How are you protecting your heart? How are you guarding your thoughts? How are you guarding yourself if you don't
Right.
you haven't been able to identify those things within you?
Can you give them just one step that they can start taking to start identifying their values or their steps or something that they could start exploring within themselves?
Okay, so here's a journal entry. You can write down, what is it do I believe about myself?
Yes, ma'am.
What is important to me? Who do I believe that I am? Who does God say that I am?
Glory to God.
How do I desire to be treated?
Well, I know that he do say that we're fearfully and wonderfully made. We can start with that.
He says that, but do the people believe it?
That's why they got Christ. Why did I think it out?
That's what I'm wondering. Is that the belief? Because if you believe that you have been wonderfully and fearfully made, then that means you would know and understand that you are valuable as a person.
Yeah.
And something that is valuable, you protect, you
Amen.
respect, and you honor.
Right.
So if you're saying that you believe that, what does that look like? One way you can say that you are honoring yourself, right, is to set a bedtime. Practical,
Okay.
right? Set a
Yeah.
bedtime. Be committed to your health and fitness. Okay, that's Madam Curvy Fit Chick for you. Be committed to your fitness. Yeah. Okay. Because that's a way that you're showing love, and it's a way that you have created a boundary, right? Boundaries protect you and other people. So my boundary is that I'm going to stay consistent in my workout. And because I have made that commitment, I will not do anything during my workout time. Because I honor that time and respect for my body. Okay.
You're not allowed to anyway. I want to see you try it. I want to see you try to do something else in the middle of your workout.
Right. But you know what? People will try it, right? If they haven't known me for a long time, they may say something like, "Oh, let's go to some place during that workout time." And I'm like, "No,
Right.
I will not be doing anything else. I have an appointment. That's where I be. If I have to choose my fitness over our friendship, fitness it is."
Hello.
Mm.
So I just want to say to Miss Curvy Fit Chick, if you guys didn't know, you haven't been following my personal page, or I don't think I put anything about fitness on Tuesday Test. I'm gonna look at her last. So I went out there one time, probably back in 2021. And that's when I was in my cute girl phase, wearing like my nails and my wigs and stuff. And I wasn't out there too long. I overheated out there at the beach, and I had to shower, all my gym clothes on, and I never went out there again. Miss Curvy Fit Chicks tricked me into self-defense class. I was like, all right, be able to hit someone. It's going to be legal. I'm going to go. Free training. I go. I have my nice little wig, come out there, and I'm thinking it's gonna be another trainer, same trainer from last time that was out there, had me overheated, and I ended up signing up. That was in January 2020. Take note, y'all ain't seeing me all 2023. Ain't been no Tuesday testimony. You know why? They've been killing me out there with Curvy Fit Chick and do all that, but it's discipline. I get what she's saying. I'm out there. I'm not with her. Okay. She's on the elite squad. I'm still in the beginners, but I'm going to get there in about 5 years. I'm coming to America right now. I'm seeing the 11 more years from Young Friday. That's a big one. Start coming in. Not to come into America.
I I'm on baby push up because that person that's over us, I shall not say it. Okay. There's no modification. There's no baby push up. I'm fully into it. But I get out. I just want to be free. I want to run out there in the beach. I want to run in the sand. I want to do all this stuff. It helps me free my mind. It helps me free my mind off the stress of the world. And so that's why I wanted to dig deep into soul care and boundaries as well. It all goes into one. So come February, it will be one whole full year of me being very and brutal fitness working. Oh, it's can I tell y'all how many pounds I lost? I'm gonna post. Hey, and so I am out of plus size. When I came out there, I was 2XL. I have fully donated all of my plus size clothes to Goodwill. I'm actually in size medium. Glory to God. But to touch back too on what she was saying, it is all about discipline. You do have to set up your lifestyle to Monday and Tuesday. I'm not available. Actually, that's why Tuesday testimony is every other week, because honestly, I want to be here with you guys and be live instead of actually doing it pre-recorded, because I want it to be an interactive thing. But I actually have workout on Tuesday. So me being disciplined and having to do this, now I have to do makeup days, but that's okay. I know my body still needs it. So if you can't remember it, set little things and motions that'll help you. There's all kinds of technology now. You can set alarms on your phone, set alarms on your iPad, set alarms on your watch. Those things can help you with your boundaries as well. So I just want to give you those little tidbits as well and throw that in. Once a person has set boundaries, what are some mistakes, or what is, say, one or two mistakes a person can make after they have went ahead and set boundaries?
All right, one or two. One would be not being realistic. Like I said earlier, it has to be very well thought out when you are creating your boundaries. A mistake that people make is just coming up with things off the whim that have not been really thought through completely. And they really don't know how to uphold it because they weren't really ready for it in the first place. So you have to be completely honest with yourself on, is this a boundary that I need to set right now? Is this something that I'll be able to honor right now? Because if you are not ready to honor that boundary right now, and you have shared it with other people, and you are not able to be committed to the boundary that you yourself set, nobody set it for you. You said it yourself, man. No one is going to take you seriously. No one is going to take you seriously. And now you have essentially communicated that you're someone that can't be trusted. Because if you are able to sit here and lie to yourself on something that you created yourself, I can't trust what you say, honey. I can't trust you because you make up lies for no reason. That definitely is a mistake that is made sometimes. All right. So the second one would be not thinking about what the consequences would be if someone does violate the boundary. But that one is twofold. So not thinking about what the consequence would be, and also not following through on what the consequence that you determined would be if someone violated your boundary. Yeah, so those are mistakes that people make, because if you're setting a boundary and someone crosses that boundary, you have to communicate to them, this is what I allow and what I do not allow. And you have to also let them know if they're unable to respect your boundary, then this is the consequence. So a consequence could be, we will not be able to continue communicating. Another consequence could be then we would have to terminate this relationship.
Woo! So
Right?
formal.
Yes. And it has to be, right? Because you got to stand on business. Okay, because the way I grew up, word is bond.
I know what that. Don't you come
A word is bond. You know what I'm saying? Don't come talking out the side of your mouth. You got to say what you mean and be right. So if person comes and tries it again, then you have to say, I thank you for the time that we were able to be in relationship with one another. I see that you're unable to uphold this boundary that I have. It's a pleasure to have met you, but we will not be able to continue in this relationship.
We can't go forward.
We cannot go forward. And God bless
And we
you.
work it out.
And we will not. No, we cannot work anything out. We cannot work anything out because you have clearly shown after I've communicated to you what the boundary is, you have violated that boundary.
Well, I was going through
you
a
had
lot.
to be intentional in violating the boundary. So I have to be intentional in following through with this consequence. Because I'm too old to be playing in this day and age. I'm too old for the games.
I was going through a lot at the time. And when you said don't call you at 10 o'clock, I just thought that maybe you needed to hear me out because none of my other friends was answering the phone. I didn't know that was being disrespectful. Can I have another chance?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I obviously am not the friend for you. I'm not the friend for you. And that happens quite often because other people who have not set boundaries for themselves sometimes struggle with handling your boundaries because they haven't done that for themselves. And that's their business. I am always willing to walk alone. I'm willing to walk alone because my peace is highly valuable. And the longer I'm on this road to being a better me, fulfilling my purpose, fulfilling my calling, the more I understand the power of solitude and being at peace. Now, peace is very expensive. And many people do not seek after peace in the way that they should because they are fearful of solitude.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Now, here you go. Oh, you done came here acting a fool again. We're not touching on that. No. Now you go act right. Over here at your sister circle, your sister station, Tuesday testimony. What you gonna stop doing is just throwing out wild stuff. Now you done threw out no self-love. Now you want to go into pieces expensive. And I'm stealing your stuff right here on air just so you know. But I'm not gonna do it alone. You're gonna come back. What you not gonna do, introduce and drop this foolery and going on about your life and your business with your boundaries and not be bothered. And you done open this up to the people. Now the doors of the church was open. Now you didn't bust them wide open. Okay? The lights is off now. Come on. The new people done joined the church. We're gonna go ahead and welcome men. You gonna stop me. Very good though. Very good. Ooh, peace is this. You gonna leave that right there. Lord knows that. And willing,
as they say, we'll stick a pin in it. We'll stick a pin in it.
I'm done. You need to go ahead and just start your podcast. I'm done. I'll be the producer.
Yes, ma'am.
So let's give the people one boundary that they can set tonight.
One boundary that they can set even tonight is to guard their thoughts and to speak positivity to themselves, to not allow negative thoughts to control their lives. So if a negative thought does come, that they can dismiss it. So for example, if you are struggling with the way you see yourself in the mirror, if when you look in the mirror, you can say nothing but negative things, you see someone that you do not like, you are disgusted at the sight of the body in which you dwell in, I want you to go to that same mirror in your nudity as you came into the world. And I want you to say, I forgive you. I forgive me for saying negative things about you. I love you. I love that you allow me to walk around, to sit when I please. I love you and I thank you for allowing me to go and do my job. Allow me to go and travel if I want to. Allow me to go drive in this body. I'm able to live life. I'm able to give life in this body. I'm able to fulfill purpose in this body. I'm able to make a living. I'm able to build wealth in this body. When a negative thought comes to your mind, when you're putting on clothes, you're stepping in those pants, and if you want to say, oh my gosh, here go another pair of pants I can't fit in, what you need to say is, oh, it looks like I might have outgrown these pants. Let me give them to someone deserving. I always love giving to other people who may need. And now I have the opportunity to buy a different pair of pants that will fit me well. That's the first thing. The second thing that you can tell yourself is that, oh, this just reminded me how I said that I was going to take better care of myself, not just so that I can be in a smaller size clothes, because we all know, depending on the brand of the clothes, you can be one size in one thing and another size in another one. But you want to say to yourself that I'm going to be healthy and I want to be moving because I want to stay more in this. So that's one thing that you can do before I continue to go on and on, as Erykah Badu said.
Instead of saying, what's your favorite Bible verse? All right. What Bible verse is sticking out to you now? What is it in your spirit?
Today, it is, I believe that's Ephesians 4:32. Be ye kind one to another, tenderhearted, forgiving one another, even as I think Christ has done to you. Something like that. Go read it, y'all.
Yeah, and when I ask y'all, I always say I don't know Bible verses. I'll know the word, but sometimes it just be stuff in your spirit. For me, is I will supply all your needs according to the rich glory. Keeps coming in my head every time I get this.
That's a beautiful one. The other one that I was just speaking about with a coworker of mine was the one, I believe it was Paul. And when he was talking about one may plant the seed, another may water it, but it's God who gives the increase. So at that time, he was talking
I just seen that.
You recently seen that one?
I just recently seen it, but that came up in my spirit as well. And then I also heard it. So that it's so funny because when I just asked you, I'm like, oh, I didn't say your favorite Bible. And some said, ask what's going on right now.
Yeah, that verse there is always a favorite one. Also, because I see myself as a planter. I'm definitely a planter And because I am a planter, I get the difficult part in helping people to transform because as the planter, I go to the soil before the soil knows anything that there needs to be any changes to it, right? Because the soil is there undisturbed. But as a planter, I now have disturbed the soil. I've dug a hole in the soil, right? And I've placed something there that I may never see be nurtured or watered. And there's resistance, right? When you're digging into something, there's resistance there, right? Because the person has not decided that's something that they want to do yet. You're bringing something new to them. And so it's uncomfortable. It's out of what they know. It's not a thought that they had in their mind, right? They thought everything was good to go as it was. That's something I have to remind myself as an encouragement that my job is important as a planter.
Yeah.
Someone will come and water it, and it is God that'll give the increase. And so all is well.
I'm going to read this one too. I save them on my reminders for the day because I call myself trying to remember the verse numbers stuff, but I just have a few that kind of get me through the day that I know it kind of but and my God will meet all your needs according to the riches of his glory in Christ. In this Philippians 4:9.
So much because he does supply all of our needs. Everything has been provided. Okay. One last thing I wanted to add, if that's all right, before you send me in the corner.
Yeah, they ain't saying the final selection yet.
Look, when you are developing and implementing your boundaries, okay, one of the things you have to decide is who do these boundaries apply to? Right. So for me, mine is a one size fits all. Okay.
Yeah.
But some people have boundaries, different boundaries for different types of relationships. They're intimate relationships, parental relationships, work relationships, friendships. So you have to decide on where they will apply. Okay. So that's something you have to think about. That's why I say it's not a willy-nilly type thing. It is something that is very well thought out. And the other thing that I want to share is that the more you are walking and living within your boundaries or just living and doing life, you will develop a level of unbotheredness that I'm telling you, you will definitely enjoy. It's lovely up here. It is so lovely.
A peace that will transcend all understanding.
I'm trying to tell you, it allows you, because there will be people who will say things like, I don't understand. Essentially, they're saying they don't understand why X is a boundary for you.
Right. And you don't
my
have to
unbotheredness. Incorrect. I'm not explaining this to you because I don't need you to understand it. All you have to do is uphold it. And if you choose not to uphold it, then we don't need to be in communication with one another. That's it. That's all.
And feel free to dismiss yourself
at any given time. At any time, you are welcome and free to exit stage left.
Is this left? Go if you want.
Right. What you will not do is come forward with me. And we will no.
Don't get it further.
Now you can go forth and be great someplace else. Okay, go forth and be great over there.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Glory to God. But I will say too, to touch on the boundaries, what she said, when I first started my boundary journey, it was, hey, it was a Sunday. I only answer the phone for such and such people. I only answer the phone for such and such immediate family members. After a while, it turned into my do not disturb is my do not disturb. There is no, you know how your phone says, oh, if the person called 2 times, let them in. Baby, you called 2 times, call 911. Don't call me. I'm done. I'm sleeping. I have no problem with getting rest. I have no problem with laying down. None of that. And even if I'm not resting, my brain needs to be tired. There is no exception. I do not disturb. I'm on do not disturb. I am on do not disturb. If I say that's me and my child time, that is me and my I want to be present. I'm learning too with boundaries, and you have to learn that as well. When you set boundaries and you set time for yourself and you set time for the people you love, your friends, your family, your children, you have to be present in that. That's the gift in it. That's what God wants us to see. I'm sitting here like me and Trynette are having this time. Me and Trynette see each other. We're present in that. We're not sitting on the phone. We're not texting other people. We're not doing us. We're presently enjoying that time. And that's what I want you guys to embrace as well with soul, with sisterhood, with just being there for your family, your love, also yourself. When you're there with yourself, you're taking yourself out on a date. If you're doing a face mask with yourself, if you're doing whatever, slow down. Put it down. Be present with yourself. That is the gift in it all. Just being present. Just being, knowing that you woke up, you alive. And that's that your body is moving. Your body is allowing you to do all these things. You're not in a wheelchair. You're not on crutches. You're not. And if you are, glory to God, you're still moving around. It's still nothing. But the gift in all of the boundaries, the gift in all the soul care is being present in the time that you need. So it will slowly go, hey, I'm on do not disturb, but my boyfriend can call me, but my sister can call me, but my brother can call me, but my mom can call, but my daddy can call. After a while, it'll start trickling down to, baby, I'm on do not disturb, and that's it. It's period. And I'll talk to y'all later. So you will start getting to that point. You'll start maturing. Because you will enjoy that time for yourself, but you will also embrace that. And they will actually, if they're true to you, and if they really want time and rest for you, and that's another thing. Start keeping going because I need ready to go. The people around you, the circle around you, what it'll start showing you. I used to say this prayer for friendship, and God will start moving people out the way, and you're actually moving people out the way because when you look around, that circle want more for you. That circle will say, "Hey, Monique, you're doing too much. I think you should go rest." So they not gonna call you. They not gonna be offended that you ain't calling. They gonna tell you to go get rest. They gonna buy you a aromatherapy candle because they know you said, when I have a long day, I like to soak in the tub. And hey, girl, here's the candle for you to relax. You're gonna create that environment for yourself without not even knowing it. You're gonna look around, and that circle of that negative people are gonna be gone, and God's gonna move, usher in those people been waiting to be in your life. That's gonna respect those boundaries. That's gonna respect you respecting yourself because they've been doing it. So now they can be with you. They can't be with nobody not respecting themselves. So now you're gonna create a whole nother lane of people that are gonna respect it, and they're gonna be happy. They're gonna see you come back to work on Monday and be like, "Girl, think you got rest. Thought you posted you went to the store. Or I didn't hear from you. You didn't do anything. That's good. You need a break." That's what you're gonna create. So that's something to look for as well. You're maturing, and the people around you are gonna get better. It's only up.
It's so true. Because Monique and I had this conversation even before we came up. I won't get into the specifics, but Because I have my own set of rules or regulations on how I live my life, I am looking for or wanting those things for those that are close to me as well. So I want you, like she said, I want you to get the rest. I want you to drink your water. I want to make sure you're eating enough meals. I want you to have your rest time, your chill time, your alone time, your journal time. All of those things, it's an expectation. You'll see. Because that's how we roll within this circle. All right.
Hello. So yes, guys. Sounds like it'll be not a part 2 to boundaries. Gonna close out boundaries, but if y'all do have any questions, do feel free to leave it in the comments. Send us the email. We will have this information as well. If you want to get in touch with her, if you have anything for her, I would definitely forward it to her. And I told you, honey, look here, when you ready to come and get this post number 2 seat, come on and get it. Because you're not finna keep leaving me with all this foolery. Try to throw it out on my own and then be like, girl, I got this day and this day off. Which way you want to do this? No, man. You're not. But I just want to thank you so much for being on the show. I will leave all Trynette information on how to get in touch with her. Killing it on TikTok. If you guys are on TikTok, she's killing it on TikTok. I don't even know how she's doing it, working full time and everything. But she stays on TikTok and her content is always good. She always replies back to videos on all the technology with that. So check her out on TikTok, also Facebook, but I will leave all her links down below. Thank you again so much, Trynette. As usual, you have always been a gem, a blessing to the show. I do mean that whenever you get finished for this business segment, you coming back here. I already got you booked for one more segment, but now you done open up these other 2, and we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. And once again, I want to thank you so much for giving us time and coming here. I love
it. Was a pleasure. I love you too, cuz. And I look forward to our next chat on Tuesday Testimony.